folks, how you doing? This is American Liberty Radio Podcast, right here on American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Want to email me, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. The music you hear is Parasail by Silent Partner. There you go, folks. Parasail by Silent Partner. You can find that on YouTube. Where I find most of my music, because that's what YouTube accepts. So there you go. But go look for it. It's Silent Partner, Parasail. Kind of cool, isn't it? So let me ask you a question, folks. Let me just. Well, first of all, before I ask you the question, let me point something out. This whole thing about Comey being fired and all this is got the Democratic Socialists and the libtards throwing their hands in the air, screaming, and all this, that, and the other thing, and you know, oh, impeach Trump. Yeah, but when we pointed out the Republican side of things, when Republicans were in office, when the Democrats were in office, the Republicans were silent. They were silent. They didn't do a damn thing to change anything. And for 8 years, we had the worst president on the planet. Even our allies that we've had for quite some time were telling us, geez, Obama sucks. And he did. So, we got this whole thing about Comey being fired. We got a lot going on. We have a lot going on. And it's incredible that a lot of people, and I'm going to say this because it's important to put out here. A lot of people are saying that Trump is not what he said he was going to be. Now he's not going to do what he's going to, said he was going to do, and yada yada yada. Well, guess what, folks? Okay, guess freaking what? He's doing it. Slowly but surely, but he's doing it. White House sources, Trump looks to replace Spicer as purge of establishment advisors begins. Fox News host Kimberly Guilfoyle being considered for press secretary as president cleans house. Paul Joseph Watson, InfoWars, 11th of May, 2017. White House sources tell InfoWars that Sean Spicer could be fired within the next week as President Trump begins to purge of establishment advisors who he feels have failed to properly investigate leaks coming from within the administration. Speculation is already swirling as to whether or not Spicer will return after he was benched temporarily and replaced with Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Spicer has behaved like a deer in the headlights in recent weeks and is not able to handle the pressure of the job, according to one source. They add that Spicer will be gone by next week, and that former prosecutor and current Fox News host Kimberly Guilfoyle, who was previously considered for the role, is currently the favorite to replace him. I'll put that on American Liberty Radio Podcast, but let me fill in some blanks for you, folks. The first part I read about the Spicer not properly investigating leaks coming from within the administration. That's not the. That's basically not the deputy. The secretary, press secretary's job. Okay, that's not. So I just want to point that out. Or from what I can tell, that's not their job. Plus, it says here, excuse me, They add that Spicer will be gone by the end of the week. And that former prosecutor, hold that word in your mind, and current Fox News host Kimberly Guilfoyle, who was previously considered for the role, is currently the favorite to replace him. Now, do you see a conflict here, folks? Do you see a conflict here? The press secretary investigates leaks from within the administration. Shouldn't that be the FBI, or shouldn't that be the CIA, or any number of those alphabet soup organizations that are up there, and not the press secretary? And if you're going to get a press secretary that's going to do that, or if you got a press secretary that's going to do what's right, do you want a former prosecutor? Because I guarantee you the fireworks are going to go off if you allow a former prosecutor in the role of press secretary. Okay? So is this Trump's way of, keeping his enemies closer? A little something to think about. However, these assertions are being disputed by other insiders who insist that Spicer will return to his current role within the next week. White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus could also be on the chopping block as President Trump begins to purge a purge of moderate advisors whom he feels have performed poorly when it comes to investigating the source of the leaks that have proved embarrassing to the administration. Having been guided by moderate advisors for the last 6 weeks, Trump tried working with the Washington establishment, but has come to the realization that they do not want to compromise on any issue, don't care about the country, and are merely concerned with blocking his policy agenda. Trump is said to take the gloves off, sidelining those within his inner circle who he feels he cannot fully trust, and going back to the approach he took for the first 50 days of his administration. Other sources also confirm that James Comey comment that he was, quote, mildly nauseous, unquote, at influencing the impact of the 2016 election was the final straw that led to his firing. In addition to the former FBI director's failure to investigate Susan Rice for her alleged role in overseeing surveillance of the phone calls between Trump and his aides. Now, let me also clear something up. There is no collusion with Russia to influence the 2016 presidential election. It has already come out that there is absolutely positively no connection whatsoever. Period. Under Comey, the FBI has refused to work with Attorney General Jeff Sessions in following through on Trump's directives, leaving Comey's position as director untenable. He's cleaning the swamp, folks. He's cleaning the swamp. People aren't going to, you go to work. You go to work and your boss says, hey, I need you to do something. You're like, okay, but you don't do it right, or you don't do it in the way that he would want it done, or you cut corners, or you just don't do it. How long do you think you're going to have your job? I'm just wondering. How long do you think you're going to have you're not going to have your job that long. Okay? You're not. That's just the way it is, folks. President Trump is cleaning the swamp, period. Slowly, surely, one person at a time, possibly. But he's cleaning the swamp. So you can go kiss my ass. He's cleaning the swamp. That's number one. That's the main thing I wanted to talk about today, but there's a lot of other things going on, like powerful Pat Buchanan, former presidential, candidate, says MSN is the enemy of Trump, an enemy of America. The American people have known this to be true for decades. Pat Buchanan said this, folks. He's got his fingers on the pulse of America. He knows what's going on. Ultimate compilation of Democratic flip-floppers previously calling for Comey's resignation share this video to expose the hypocrisy of the left. And this is all on InfoWars under featured stories, so you might want to go to Infowars.com and check all these out as well. Michael Savage, How to Save Trump Presidency. Stop tweeting, stop listening to liberal Manhattan family members. Trump administration, we intend to stop Obamacare looting scheme. Fannie and Freddie looted by Obama-era policies to pay for Obamacare. Now, those are 4 of the things on the featured story section of Infowars.com. And that leads me to this, folks. I hear a lot of people and see a lot of posts about people not liking Alex Jones or Michael Savage or, Rush Limbaugh, whatever. Kiss my ass. Let me tell you something. About 90% of what Alex Jones talks about and shares with his viewers, about 90% of it is accurate. So that's just the way it is. So I don't care if you like him, if you don't like him, I don't care. I don't care. Anybody that says, well, I got proof that he's this and that, well, then show it. And don't show me these crappy freaking vague videos of him talking to somebody and then, have a voiceover that says, see what he said there? See what? No. You're dumber than crap if you think I'm going to believe that crap. And you're dumber than dirt if you think that any of the public is going to believe that crap. Now, do I agree with everything that Alex Jones says? No, I don't. And he'll tell you straight up he doesn't agree with some of the things other people talk about either. But he'll always tell you, go out and check this stuff out yourself. I say the same thing. But from now on, and this goes out to, I'm not going to, I'm not going to call this person out on the carpet, but I will say this, that this person knows exactly who they are, and I'm going to tell them directly right now that you're full of crap, and you always have been, because your investigative techniques lack integrity. Bottom line. That's all I got to say about that one. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I don't want to. Now, I want to make sure that people understand what's happening in America, and that is exactly what this show is all about. What is happening in the United States of America? Because for you listeners across the pond and overseas and all of that who listen to this, I want you to know that I have you in mind when it comes to the truth and facts. Why? Because you want the truth and the facts. A friend of mine says, well, that's your truth and that's your facts. No, no. If you, really look at the information and you start digging and asking questions, then you'll find the truth with the facts to back it up. Everybody's yelling about Trump releasing his tax returns. Steve Watson, Infowars.com, 11 May 2017. Trump says he might release his tax returns after he leaves office. Quote, I'm very proud of them, actually. I did a good job, unquote. In a move destined to trigger detractors, Donald Trump has said he is considering releasing his tax returns, but only after his presidency concludes. Quote, at some point I'll release them. Maybe I'll release them after I finish because I'm very proud of them, actually. I did a good job, unquote. Trump told the reporter at The Economist. When the reporter asked if Trump is considering releasing his returns as a bargaining tool to get to Democratic votes on his tax reform package, Trump was adamant. Quote, I would never do it. I think that would be unfair to the deal. It would be disrespectful of the importance of this deal, unquote. Quote, the only people that find that important are the reporters, unquote, Trump added. In other words, the reporters of the mainstream media want to know how much Trump made, so they can use that against him in their reporting. This is mainstream propagandist media we're talking about, folks. They want to use it against him. Trump's opponents have repeatedly suggested that his refusal to release tax returns is because they contain information that would place the president's position in jeopardy. However, there has been no evidence to suggest this is the case. Okay. I'm going to put the rest of that on American Liberty Radio Podcast. I find it incredibly odd, and odd in the sense of it's not funny odd. It's kind of a weird thing that we have to consider. That and this subject came up quite a few days ago, really, and I just cannot understand why people cannot accept the truth. I'm just at odds with that. You know, I mean, you can sit down, you can show them, hey, look, here's one, put those together, you have two. Okay. That's the truth. That's the facts. Okay. I mean, you can show them this and they'll sit there and go, no. What if? We don't live in a world of what ifs. We live in a world of what is. Okay. We plan and we say, I need to do this to accomplish this. You don't say, what if I did this? Would it accomplish this? No. Why are you throwing doubt into your own life? That's just ridiculous. We live in a world of what is. President Trump to sign executive order establishing Commission on Election Integrity. Vice President Mike Pence to chair the commission. About damn time. Bangladesh Prime Minister says Clinton personally pressured her to help foundation donor, may trigger new calls for criminal investigation into the foundation's activities. By the way, my show is heard in Bangladesh. How are you folks out there in Bangladesh? Tell me what you know on your end of the spectrum out there. Email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Since I mentioned that one, I'll put that one up as well. Again, folks, I find it odd that people cannot. I'm just going to say it the way. I'm not going to pussyfoot around. People don't want the truth and facts. They don't. They don't want the truth and facts. They obviously don't. Because if they did, we'd have more people screaming and hollering, jumping up and down, and making the changes they seek. But they're not. They're not. In my last podcast, I talked about the idiots in Washington, D.C., yeah, but in Hollywood. So I'm going to tell you this. Because California now is a communist state, yes, I am going to indict the whole damn state, including Jerry Brown, the governor. Because California is a communist state, it is apparent that conservative thought, conservative shows, conservative engagement with politics in California is pretty much slim to none. And if you're a conservative in California, you're done. Okay? You're finished. Okay? ABC cancels Tim Allen's highly rated TV show 2 months after he called out hysterical anti-Trump left. Coincidence? Christian conservative sitcom canned. Paul Joseph Watson, Infowars.com, 11th of May 2017. ABC has canceled Tim Allen's Last Man Standing sitcom despite good ratings, leaving some to wonder whether the show was canceled or canned because of Allen's conservative politics. Let me put a big giant yes on the end of that. Allen made headlines back in March when he appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live to remark on how conservatives have to keep quiet about any kind of pro-Trump leanings. Quote, "I'm not kidding. You gotta be real careful around here. You get beat up if you don't believe what everybody believes," unquote, says Allen. Quote, "It's like 30s Germany," unquote, he joked. "I don't know what happened if you're not part of the group." Quote, "You know what we believe is right," unquote. I go, "Well, I have a problem with that," unquote. This followed comments by Allen during an appearance on Megyn Kelly's show shortly after the election in which he called out leftist intolerance. Quote, "What I find odd in Hollywood is that they didn't like Trump because he was a bully. But if you had any kind of inkling that you were for Trump, you got bullied for doing that," unquote, said Allen. Now the comedian's Last Man Standing sitcom is set to be canceled by ABC, who cite disagreements over the series' license fee as the reason. No, because it's on Netflix and Hulu. I think it's on Hulu. It's one of those two. According to Deadline Hollywood, the show, quote, "was considered the perfect sitcom for the Trump era, hitting ratings highs in its 6th season. Quote, "with a central character who is a political conservative and devout Christian adhering to traditional American values, the blue-collar comedy appeals to viewers in the heartland, a constituency that helped elect Donald Trump as president and has been energized post-election as evidenced by ratings success of new USA drama Shooter," unquote. With around 6.4 million viewers, Last Man Standing was outperforming other shows, quote, "winning its 8 to 8:30 p.m. time slot," unquote. Were financial problems the sole reason for the show being canceled? It's no secret that Hollywood and the entertainment world rigorously thought, and I'm going to say this with emphasis, so hold on. It's no secret that Hollywood and the entertainment world rigorously thought policed the industry to punish conservatives who refuse to fall in line with the liberal consensus. Conservatives in Hollywood are so heavily discriminated against that they are forced to go underground and even have secret meetings. Not identifying as liberal in the movie industry is a potential career killer. There you go, period, end of freaking sentence. This is worse, or if not just part, of how they treat Christians in China. Years ago, I was going to church and I talked to a woman who obviously has Chinese heritage, and her family was still over there. And she said that when you are a Christian and you go to China, you have to go in the homes and you have to do things there as a Christian in the homes, almost secretively. She said that one point she was in a home. She was doing missionary work as well from America. She was an American citizen with Chinese heritage, but she went over there, went into a home, ministered in the home, left, and 20 minutes later, the Chinese police came in, the communist police came in and broke the whole thing up and arrested a few people. And I heard this back in the 90s. So this is what's happening to conservatism in America right now, starting with California. Starting with the popular conservative shows and movies that are out there. Well, let me just bottom line all that with this. If you're not a far-left bleeding heart liberal that wants open borders and Muslims in your state, you are going to be booted out of your state. You are going to be arrested. You are going to be suppressed. Everything that you do will be watched. Everything you have on your computer will be hacked. This is the information war that is heard around the world. And if you look at all the demographics around the world, every piece of free speech that we have in the United States of America is being suppressed because of the bullying tactics of the people that run Washington, D.C. Actually, not only run it, they own it. The one thing that I've understood a long time ago, even when I was a kid and a teenager, was the fact that we have the ability to stand up to protect our free speech, to protect our freedom of assembly, to protect our freedom of religion, to protect our families and friends who are being bullied by people who don't want them to say a word, to be free to go to whatever school they want to go to whatever church they want to be wherever they want to in town. I've seen this myself, folks, and I grew up in Stockton, California. And I'm pretty sure it happens in your town where you can be walking around the best part of the city, but still keep an eye out and still keep looking over your shoulder because you have no idea what's going on out there right now. You have absolutely no idea what's going on out there. It's not so much. Now, let me put it to you this way. You can probably go to these war-torn areas of the world like Jerusalem and Iraq and all this and see military out on the streets of the cities and all this, that, and the other. You can see that. Well, how we are in America, in the United States right now, is very, very, very close to that. We're just looking over our shoulders, waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's what's happening. That's what is happening. And I myself, along with millions of others, are sick and tired of it. Just absolutely sick and tired of it. I don't know, folks. I just do not know. I'll be back right after this. This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Talk to you in a bit. Sharing the truth one fact at a time, without all the BS. American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. The reality underneath the honesty. LiveTruthRadio.com. Check out Late Night in the Midlands with your host Michael Vera at LateNightInTheMidlands.com, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Go to LateNightInTheMidlands.com. The world as we know it has been turned upside down. The leaders are faced with possible annihilation from their enemies. The United States is at the brink of a total collapse. This is the reality we live in. What can be done? The truth. The facts. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com, American Liberty Radio at USA.com. You can also find us at American Liberty Radio on Gab.ai. The music you hear is from Letterbox First Aid. You can find that on YouTube. Thank you, guys. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Yeah, folks, there's always something. Always something. We live in a country where everybody has a chance to be better than they were. They work at it. It's difficult sometimes, but they get through it and they become better than what they were then. And it's all on it's not because they want to impress anybody else. They want to fix it for themselves. They know they can be better. They know it. But here's the ridiculousness of some of that. And maybe it's in, maybe they have, something, maybe they know something we all don't know, okay? But to me, this is just completely ridiculous. Mark Zuckerberg, The Rock, Katy Perry, and Oprah Winfrey are all thinking of running for president. One name that keeps coming up over and over is Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. As Salon has detailed, he is already behaving very much like a presidential candidate. I'm not even going to put that on American Liberty Radio Podcast. You can go to Infowars.com under the U.S. News section and check that one out. Majority of unemployed Americans want Obamacare repealed, illegal immigration stopped. More unemployed Americans voted for Hillary, yet a plurality believe Trump would have positive impact on jobs. Freebeacon.com, Allie Meyer, thank you, 10th of May, 2017. Most unemployed Americans favor repealing Obamacare and say it would be easier to get a job if there were less illegal immigration, according to a survey from Express Employment Professionals. The group surveyed 1,500 Americans age 18 and older who were unemployed from March 14th to April 6th. Although most of those surveyed favored Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton over Republican Donald Trump in the election, they expressed support for conservative policies such as repealing the Affordable Care Act and limiting illegal immigration. 35% of those polled voted for Hillary Clinton, 25% voted for Donald Trump, 34% didn't vote, and the remainder voted for Libertarian Gary Johnson or Green candidate Jill Stein. Only 20% of the unemployed currently have insurance under Obamacare, yet 57% say they want to repeal it. 43% of the unemployed said they want it to stay. I'm going to put this on American Liberty Radio Network, on American Liberty Radio Podcast, on Facebook. I can't, and, sometimes words escape me. or they come out all jumbled, because the idiocy in Washington, D.C. is just completely apparent now, okay? Just completely apparent. California, that's what it says. California Communist Party ban to be lifted on state jobs. I mentioned this in the last podcast from yesterday. Yeah, if you're a communist, it doesn't matter now. You can run for public office. Before, you couldn't do that. Susan Rice unmasked. Fearful lawyers seek immunity. Rice and other Democrats living in fear after Comey's firing. Well, good. I think anybody that acts in a treasonous way, who is a politician or who is in public office, such as anywhere near Washington, D.C., should be put in prison. That's just my view. Stolen Valor senator pushes impeachment over Comey firing. Blumenthal was accused of misrepresenting his military service record, so you can shut him down now. School district bans international student trips to shield illegal aliens from border complications. Officials punish legal citizens and taxpayers on behalf of the illegals. That's like saying, oh, don't mention anything to your uncle that's the weird one, because that's offensive. I'm just saying, folks, it's stupid, okay? Obama administration underreported number of Americans who were unmasked by the NSA in 2016. The number of affected Americans are grossly underreported. Well, yeah, they're not going to tell you the exact number. And by the way, you're all being hacked and watched and everything. If you have a Kinect or if you have a camera on your Samsung Smart TV or your game console, either put tape on it or disconnect it immediately. Because you tell me whether or not this has happened. I've heard this story with the Samsung Smart TV with the camera on it, because you got games that, you can use. Anyway, you can be walking around, you can be walking through your house and say something about, oh, we need detergent, or we need to go to the store and get some milk or something. And next, when you get on the TV, and some of the TVs and some of the apps that are on there, you'll see certain ads for whatever you were talking about. Same thing with the, what is that I can't remember what it is now, but Google and Amazon have these things, these smart boxes, I call them, that sit in your home, and you can just say, what you want. It's like, okay, Google, do this, and search for this, and it will, yeah, that's listening to you. Catherine Albrecht, she showed that. She demonstrated that in her show. Catherine Albrecht. Go look her up. How Trump is saving America. Let me report on that. Let me talk about that for a minute. And it's a video on the Alex Jones Show, the 9th of May 2017. Despite what the MSN reports, Trump has done a lot of good so far. Alex Jones and Gavin McInnes explain why Trump, although marred by imperfections, the MSN emphasizes, is a blessing to the country. Let me tell you something. Not one damn person who is a president has ever been perfect. So shut the hell up and get your head out of your ass and stop thinking that your president has to be perfect. Everybody is flawed and everybody has faults. Okay? So stop living with these unattainable expectations of what the president should do. He's got absolutely no power to do anything. Okay? It's Congress. Because Congress tells his advisors tell the inner circle tells the president. What President Trump is doing is eliminating some people who are not giving him the best advice in the inner circle, and now he's going after the other people, the advisors. Okay, so this is what is going on. Okay, so I'm done with the bullcrap. If you want perfection, I'm going to say this, there is no perfect candidate, period. Okay? Period. I don't want to hear it anymore. You people are dumber than dirt if you even believe that we need a perfect president. He's going to have flaws. He's going to be, I don't really care what you think, to be honest with you. I just don't, I don't care. The president, everybody in Congress is flawed. Everybody in your family has a flaw or a fault. What the libtards, what the elites, what these people who control Washington, D.C. are doing is emphasizing those faults in Trump, causing the narrative to be against Trump. This is how it works, folks. So shut the hell up and stop expecting perfection from the president. It ain't gonna happen. Sean Hannity says that Comey is a national embarrassment. Comey disrespected Constitution at every turn, says Hannity. Breitbart, 10th of May, 2017, Jeff Poor. Tuesday on Fox News Channel, host Sean Hannity applauded President Donald Trump's decision to fire now former FBI Director James Comey. Hannity called Comey a national embarrassment and said that he should be ashamed of himself. Quote, "We're going to cut through all of the noise, all of the nonsense on this program tonight and tell you exactly what the left and destroy Trump media will not tell you," Hannity said. Quote, "James Comey, the now former FBI director, is a national embarrassment. It is that plain. It is that simple. And frankly, he's very lucky that President Trump kept him around this long because of his now unhinged and very erratic behavior. Now, firing James Comey with absolutely the single right thing for this president to do." I'm going to put that on American Liberty Radio Podcast. I don't know what else to really say, folks. I really don't, because when the Democrats were in office, the Republicans stopped a lot of their bullcrap, their policies that they. If it was a fully Democrat-filled Congress, we'd be a destroyed country at this point. In the last 4 years of Obama's, tenure or term, he tried to undermine the Constitution of the United States. That's treasonous. He should go to prison. Did you hear? Do you remember when President Trump said after the election, "I'll have more room to do what I want," something similar to that, when he spoke to Medvedev from Russia? Remember? Do you remember that? You want to talk about a Russian collusion? There it is right there. Obama, the Clintons, that's Trump has no connection whatsoever with the Russians. None whatsoever. So I'm done with the bullcrap. I'm done. Dems suddenly care about Constitution over Trump's firing a Comey. Deep state will use narrative to justify removing Trump from office. Did I not just say something to that? I'm putting that up on American Liberty Radio Podcast. Yeah, a little excited today, folks, because the stupidity that is oozing, that is like rushing out of Washington, D.C. is just too much to handle anymore. It's just too much to handle. I've had enough of everybody's bullcrap. You're going to accuse me and assert that I'm this, or you're going to accuse and claim that Alex Jones is this, or that Michael Savage is this, or Rush Limbaugh is this, or Brian Lang is this, or Nick Tucker is this. You guys can kiss my freaking ass. I said freaking. Okay? Because I'm done with you idiots that are pro-Sanders, pro-Hillary, pro-Obama, pro-this, anti-Trump people. Go grab a boat and get your ass out of the United States of America. We don't need you here. Okay? Somebody would say that, well, at the basic level of humanity, you have to have the conflict to be able to know what is good and what is not. That's called common sense, folks. It's called common sense. I don't know how else to put it. That's common sense. That's just common sense. How are you going to understand what is good if you don't see what's going on that is bad? It's common sense. It's called pay attention and use your common sense. Pretty much. Because that's what it is, folks. Yeah. If there was anybody, and I say this knowing full well that I don't know everything, and I'm fine with that because I'm learning something new every day, which is really, really cool. But I find that certain people will just stand their ground. I'm anti-Trump. I'm for, bringing illegals in. I don't give a crap who they are. They never. We might as well put a baby bonnet on them, put some diapers on them, and a big giant baby bottle in their hand. Because that's what they're acting like. Big old freaking babies. Then they throw a temper tantrum because they don't get what they want. And that's not only the politicians, folks. That's also their constituents. They're acting like big-ass babies. You see that now. You see what the Democrats have done for the last 8 years by blocking certain Republican, legislator. Yeah, there we go. And really trying to destroy the United States of America. You see this now. You see it. It's out in the open. Because you see it because of how they react. And have reacted in the last over 100 days. Bottom line, folks, the Democratic Socialists, the Marxists, the Communists of the United States of America want a third world country devoid of all freedom for the individual, and they want the collective to be the only narrative that you would ever want to say. Don't say that against the proletariats because they'll get pissed off and they'll come after you. We see that in Hollywood at this point. Tim Allen's show, The Last Man Standing, has been canceled. Conservative-based shows have been canceled. And I'm going to say this to Hollywood right now. All you conservatives out there, all you Christians out there in Hollywood, I don't want to hear your, uppity, positive thing going, well, the mainstream media is really wrong because really the conservatives are like outnumbering all of the liberals here in the city. No, you guys just get your freaking head out of the clouds. Get back to reality. Because you people are the dumbest people on the face of the planet when it comes to politics. You guys have absolutely no idea what the hell you're doing. Because you're the biggest bullies in the conservative movement, Christians. Oh, let me flip that coin over. You're the most intolerant people in the community. And because of that intolerance, we got idiots running around, trying to destroy the fabric of your life. Okay? And this is true in any other countries where Christians have to hide out to read the Bible. to worship God, to do what they do. They have to hide out for fear of the communist or the Islamic police coming and finding them and killing them. I'm not kidding you. Go look it up. We're going... I hope this happens long after I am no longer here, but we will have a holy war between the Christians and the Muslims. And I think a book had predicted that as well. And a few other prognosticators in our history predicted that. And if you go back to the early 1970s, there was a film called The Late Great Planet Earth by Hal Lindsey. Go watch that. It's very informative. But you see, prophecies and predictions are only of things that could happen. I'm not justifying anything, because it is the people's determination and self-determination and humanity's determination to make sure that good triumphs over evil. So if you are being shown of what could happen or what is going to happen, if you don't want it to happen, what are you doing to stop it? People are scared. Young people I talk to are scared. Oh, I don't want to hear that. Then they put their earbuds in, plug their phone in, and listen to music. Or text. Or get on Facebook. Or find some other chat application that they can talk to their friends. When all hell is breaking loose and the city is falling apart around them, and they're going to sit there going, oh, cool. And most adults do the same thing. So as of today, the 11th of March, I am done with liberals. I am done with anti-conservative thought. I am done with anti-Trump supporters. I am done with Hollywood. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. And when I say Hollywood, I'm done with these bashers, these communists, these collective fascists that are out there in Hollywood that think, well, you know, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to suck people into our narrative because we need more people on our side. Well, let me tell you something. About 35% of Californians right now, maybe more, give or take 10 or 12 more, 12% more. I would say about 35 to 45% of Californians know exactly what's going on. And believe you me, if they had the guts and the backbone to do it, they would stand up, they would speak out, and they would get involved. Thank you, Brian Lang, over at LiveTruthRadio.com. They would take back California. And I'm talking from the streets on up to Sacramento, California. We're talking get rid of the drug gangs, get rid of the domestic terrorists, and they're one and the same. Get rid of corrupt politicians, get rid of corrupt sheriffs, corrupt police, corrupt everybody, and just send their asses to Gitmo. Because as far as I'm concerned, when you have people in California conducting their political business in the way that they are undermining the peace, freedom, liberty, and security of the United States of America, and they are violating every single constitutional right that these people are protected by, and they are treasonous, and to me, they are domestic terrorists and need to be sent to Gitmo. That's the way it is. Not because I say so, but because the facts bear it out. Go look it up. Don't believe me. Don't believe what I say. Go look it up. I mean, go look at the demographics. Go look at the numbers. Go crunch the numbers. You'll see I'm right. So as far as I'm concerned, California's done. I was born and raised in Stockton, California, grew up in Stockton, California. And that city's just become a crap hole, a cesspool of just irreversible crime. You know why? Because people don't have a backbone or guts to get in there and take care of business. There's 4 police stations in Stockton, California, and not one of them have done any good for the city. Oh, what do you suggest? Intervention by citizens who love the city and take it back from these domestic terrorists called street gangs. But, California's done and people are stupid and that's just the way it is. And they're not going to do anything. Stockton, California's done. It's done. I went to Franklin High School. I went to Fremont Junior High School. I went to Martin Luther King Junior Elementary School. I went to Fillmore School. Yeah, I went to those schools. They're in my neighborhood. Yeah, that's where I went to school, folks. I spent time on the streets. I spent time doing a lot of stuff in my youth. And I paid attention very well to who, what, when, where, and how, and all of that. And guess what? Not one damn person in Stockton, California has the guts to stand up against the freaking criminals that are there ruining someplace special. Yeah, it's someplace special, all right, if you're an illegal alien and a gang member. I had to step outside of the city to see how bad it truly was. Yeah, I'm indicting all of Stockton right now. Matter of fact, California's a communist state, so why not? They're all treasonous. All the politicians in Sacramento. Yeah. What are you going to do? Want to send me some nasty grams in my email? Go ahead. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. No attachments, please. I ain't opening them. But the fact of the matter is, people have to stand up, speak out, get involved. Thank you again, Brian Lang. People have to stand up and really get a stronger backbone, get a stronger constitution within themselves. That's also part of the makeup of a human being, is how these people fare and are conditioned to fare in really, really, really bad situations. So we need to do something, and we need to do it now. I'm not asking, I'm not telling, I'm not suggesting doing something offensive. We have a constitution. We have a Bill of Rights, which is being really torn apart at this point. But we have people that love this country for what it is. And I call out all the patriots who are sitting by watching everything crumble. What are you folks doing about it? Huh? What are you folks doing about it? Okay? I don't know what else to say. You people need to stand up and do something. But no, I'll just put it this way. It's not going to happen. No, not one person in Stockton nor in California proper is ever going to do anything because, hey, they're getting a handout. Why do they need to do something to bite the hand that feeds them, right? Just saying. Just putting it out there. I don't know what else to tell you. This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. You can email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Yes, send your nasty grams over there. This is American Liberty Radio Network on Spreaker.com, sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.